Welcome to Flex and Guts by Moxie Welds. I'm your host, Metalsmith Moxie, and this here is one of my heroes, my dad, my Professor Pops here.
Hi.
So if you're new to the channel, this channel is all about welding, metalsmithing, tips and tricks, fun projects, and so much more. So let's get into it. All right, so conducting an interview with a seasoned welder. So I might go out of order with our questions here, but yeah, I think the first one's a good one. So how long have you been welding, sir?
I've been welding a total of 29 years. Is that like that? Do you want me to add?
All right, next question, you're done. No, I'm just kidding. That's 2 years less than I've been alive.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, I was 18 when I started welding.
That was going to be my next question, so
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's okay, you can ask it again.
So how old are you when you started welding?
I was 18 years old.
Wow. Wow, you got started early.
Yeah, I did.
And what was it that got you interested in welding?
I wanted to spend time with my dad. When I was a kid, he was working so much all the time that I never really got to see him. So he would take me on Friday night. He worked from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. He was working 12-hour shifts. And so he would take me to the shop, and I would spend the whole night with him. And they were doing a lot of different type work, a lot of mandrels on huge positioners. And they were either set up the automatic TIG machine, or they would set up the submerge arc, and or they would have to weld stuff out with the Cobra by hand. And he would let me try it. It was a lot of fun. So I'd weld out for a little bit, whatever I could, and then he'd take right over and keep going. So it was I learned a lot from him. It was a lot of fun.
So this isn't on the questions list, but roughly around how old were you when you were doing that with your dad?
I was 13. I did it for like 2 or 3 years. So I was 13 to about maybe I was 15 or 16, and then I got to know most of the guys that he worked with. So when I started working at his company, it was a pretty easy transition to just to go right into work.
Man, no kidding. All right, sir. So what would you recommend, or would you recommend welding as a trade? Now that you've been in it for so long and you've seen it grow and seen different aspects, would you still recommend this?
Yeah, welding has grown in different aspects. The technology is great. But there's still welding that needs hands-on stuff. I mean, no robot can take the hand of a person. It's just too good. But yeah, I would recommend some of these kids that don't want to work, they don't want to get out there. It'd be great if they went out there and learned a trade. Spend time with a parent. If you have one that's in a trade, learn. You'll never, your mom and dad, they come and go too quickly, and you'll never get that back. So spend the time you can with them, learn what you can from them, and enjoy your family.
Aww.
That's what I did with her.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to that. We'll save that one for last. I like that one. All right. So since you would recommend this, I know that a lot of people are going to be like, well, if you're willing to recommend this and getting into it, of course the family bit is awesome. Not everybody has that. What would you say the pros and cons are from your perspective, especially if you're giving this advice to someone who's coming into it brand new, where their family doesn't come from a hands-on background?
Well, for one thing, you want to go and get some type of formal training. Community college, where they have really good instructors, that's a good place to start. I don't think ROP exists anymore, but anything that can help you just to get some hands-on training. And a lot of companies, because welders are so scarce today, there's a shortage of welders, and especially, I'm not talking about your fly-by-night welder. I'm talking about good welders that want to stay in the trade. They love what they do, and they want to do a good job for you. Those welders, there's a huge shortage.
So that would be my next question right there is what is it that separates the good welders, the great welders, from just, like you said, your fly-by-night welders?
The good welders are always going to be humble. And even let's just say a junior welder, a guy that just came out of school who's maybe got a year under his belt, a guy that's really seasoned can look at a kid like that and say, you know, he knows what he's doing. He might have a better way of doing it or a simpler way, and taking those things on, learning from everybody. So you're only as good as the people that are around you. So you have to make sure that you learn from everybody. You can't just think you're the best, because there's always somebody that's better than you.
Like me.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
That's what we trained her to be, better than me.
Oh man, I love it. I'm still working on it, and I'll definitely show you guys something that we were working on for a different video. But some comparisons between my welds and my dad's welds. I'm still working on it, but I'm catching up. All right, so final question. What made you decide to teach your daughter, to weld?
I really enjoyed how my relationship with my father grew. And, you know, we didn't always get along on the job, and we fought like cats and dogs. But I love him. I love him. You know, now that he's gone, I miss him. But I want to have that with my daughter. I want to have it with her because she's the only one I have. You know, it's so to have that relationship, to have that opportunity to pass on something to your kid it's a great thing. So I really, that's when I got to really get closer and closer to her, to bond with her by teaching her all the things that I learned from my father down to her.
This is why I'm a great welder.
I think we better redo that last part.
All right, guys, so that was an interview with Professor Pop, my dad, and a very seasoned welder here. And yeah, so what do we always say? Please comment down below about how much you enjoyed my dad being on video, and make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, give us some love and support. We really appreciate that. And remember, guys, what do I always say?
Be MOXILICIOUS.
That's right. And post all your MOXILICIOUS moments at #BeMoxilicious on Instagram. This way we get to share in all of your fun MOXILICIOUS moments. So see you guys next Monday at 3.